I've been grateful for the many things that living gave me, for the ordinary and the beautiful and the real, for the mornings and the people and the things that save me, in the moments when the world was hard to feel. But somewhere in the inventory of the grateful, there is one that rises higher than the rest by far, one that makes the whole of everything more faithful and more worthy of the wonder that we are. Because before the loving and before the choosing, before the fighting and the everything that followed through, there is the most essential and the most infusing gratitude of all, the simple fact of you. Thank you for existing, for being in this world, for the particular and irreplaceable fact of you. Thank you for existing and the whole of the unfurled, extraordinary living that your existence carries through. Not thank you for the loving or the choosing or the staying, but thank you for the most essential and the most complete. Thank you for existing and for all the displaying of a life so beautiful it made my own replete. I think about the world that would have been without you, the particular and devastating quiet of that space. I can barely hold the thought of living throughout you, absent from the everything you fill with grace. Because your existence is not just what you give me, it is what you give the world by being in it every day. The light in the particular and the way you live me into something larger than I was before you came to stay. Because before the loving and before the choosing, before the fighting and the everything that followed through, there is the most essential and the most infusing gratitude of all, the simple fact of you. Thank you for existing, for being in this world, for the particular and irreplaceable fact of you. Thank you for existing and the whole of the unfurled, extraordinary living that your existence carries through. Not thank you for the loving or the choosing or the staying, but thank you for the most essential and the most complete. Thank you for existing and for all the display of a life so beautiful it made my own replete. And the most profound thing about a gratitude this simple is how it underlies and holds the everything else. That thank you for existing is the most complete example of a love that starts before the love itself. Because thank you for existing is not what comes after, it is the most essential and the most the gratitude that lives beneath the love and laughter, and the staying, it is the foundation of the call. Thank you for existing, for being in this world, for the particular and irreplaceable fact of you. Thank you for existing, and the whole of the unfurled, extraordinary living that your existence carries through. Not thank you for the loving or the choosing or the staying, but thank you for the most essential and the most complete. Thank you for existing and for all the displaying of a life so beautiful it made my own replete. Thank you for existing. The most profound thing I know to say. Thank you for existing. And for being in my world in every extraordinary way. There was a time I moved through everything in quiet, not broken and not bitter, but not fully there. Had learned to keep the living at a careful riot of the surface, nothing reaching past the air. And I had made my peace with not completely feeling, had called the numbness something close to fine, and built my life around the careful and the sealing of the parts that once had burned with something like a shine. And then you happened in the most unhurried of the ordinary, without announcement and without a warning or a sign. And what had been so carefully and quietly stationary began to move again, and everything came back online. Because of you I felt again, completely and entirely. Felt everything at once and all the way down to the bone. Because of you I felt again, and it came so fiery and so overwhelming I could barely hold it on my own. Not felt like a returning to the ordinary measure, but felt like the most extraordinary and the most awake. Because of you I felt again, and what I found was treasure in the feeling that I thought had gone too deep to take. Felt the ordinary morning with a different kind of quality. The light arriving as if it had been away too long, and everything I touched had its most complete totality of texture and of presence and of the most alive and strong. And I remember thinking, so this is what it was like This is what the living felt before it all went dim. And you were there beside me, and the most extraordinary was like of someone who had reached in past the everything gone grim. And then you happened in the most unhurried of the ordinary, without announcement and without a warning or a sign. And what had been so carefully and quietly stationary began to move again, and everything came back online. Because of you I felt again, completely and entirely. Felt everything at once and all the way down to the bone. Because of you I felt again, and it came so fiery and so overwhelming I could barely hold it on my own. Not felt like a returning to the ordinary measure, but felt like the most extraordinary and the most awake. Because of you I felt again, and what I found was treasure in the feeling that I thought had gone too deep to take. And the most broad and powerful thing about the feeling returning is how it came back larger than it ever was before. That everything, the numbness, had been quietly yearning in its absence, came back doubled at the door. Because of you I felt again is not just a restoration, it is the most extraordinary amplification of the whole, the most complete and the most alive inauguration of a heart that needed you to finally become full. Because of you I felt again, completely and entirely. Felt everything at once and all the way down to the bone. Because of you I felt again, and it came so fiery and so overwhelming I could barely hold it on my own. I felt like a returning to the ordinary measure, but felt like the most extraordinary and the most awake. Because of you I felt again, and what I found was treasure in the feeling that I thought had gone too deep to take. Because of you I felt again, and feeling has never been more alive. Because of you I felt again, the most extraordinary reason I survived. I used to keep the heart in careful order, had built a system that was measured and controlled, had drawn a very clear and practiced border between the feeling and the living and the cold. And I was good at it, the art of the contained discipline and the precisely calibrated, until you came and everything I had maintained dissolved into the most extraordinary and elated. Because the heart that you have set upon this fire has no interest in the order it once kept. It has become the most complete and the most entire madness that has ever woken it from sleep. The madness of my heart is you and only you, the most beautiful and consuming kind of all. The madness of my heart is the most completely true and extraordinary answer to the most essential call. Not madness like the broken or the lost without direction, but madness like the most alive and most on fire. The madness of my heart has found its most complete perfection in the burning and the beautiful and the most entire. I feel it in the mornings when wanting wakes before me, in the way the day begins with you already at its core. And in the evenings when the world has tried to floor me, and the madness of your love is still the most I adore. And in the ordinary hours between the burning edges, the madness never quiets and it never finds its rest. And I have searched the farthest and the highest ledges for a cure, and found the madness is what I love best. Because the heart that you have set upon this fire has no interest in the order it once kept. It has become the most complete and the most entire madness that has ever woken it from sleep. The madness of my heart is you and only you, the most beautiful and consuming kind of all. The madness of my heart is the most completely true and extraordinary answer to the most essential call. Not madness like the broken or the lost without direction, but madness like the most alive and most on fire. The madness of my heart has found its most complete perfection in the burning and the beautiful and the most entire. And the most passionate thing about this madness is its beauty, the way it makes the everything more vivid and more real. That what began as something I considered my most duty to contain became the most extraordinary feel. Because the madness of my heart is not a thing to cure or quiet. It is the most complete and the most luminous of states. the most alive, and the most beautifully riot of a love that burns through every ordinary gate. The madness of my heart is you and only you, the most beautiful and consuming kind of all. The madness of my heart is the most completely true and extraordinary answer to the most essential call. Not madness like the broken or the lost without direction, but madness like the most alive and most on fire. The madness of my heart has found its most complete perfection in the burning and the beautiful and the most entire. The madness of my heart, and I never want the cure. The madness of my heart, and most beautiful and the most completely pure.